What's good, God Squad? Today we're venturing to the murky heart of the American South with South of Midnight. It's a game that doesn't just tell a story, but breathes it. It's developed by Compulsion Game. This action-adventure title is actually a love letter to the Southern Gothic folklore, deep into the kind of atmosphere that sticks to your bones like some humid summer air. The game did receive a 77 on Metacritic, but we gotta stop with the narrative that when a game receives a 70 or something along those lines, it's considered bad, trash, or absolutely ass. Because most AAA titles don't even get a chance to see that, let alone see a 77. But nonetheless, I think Compulsion Games did an amazing job, and no, I did not get paid to say that. Some of y'all think I got paid to say nice things about Assassin's Creed Shadows when I genuinely love the game. But anyway, Compulsion Games, you did your thing. Now, set in the fictional town of Prospero, Louisiana, the game follows Hazel, a young woman thrust to the world where folklore bleeds into reality. After a terrible hurricane, both literal and symbolic, Hazel must unravel family secrets, confront supernatural forces, and wield magic rooted into the traditions of her community. But does this ambition blend of myth and mechanics hold together? Let's wade into the water and find out. Lock in with me as we explore the story, the gameplay, art, music, and themes that make South of Midnight a standout and where it occasionally stumbles as well. To me, the city of Prospero isn't just a setting, it's a character. This is a town where the past clings to every broken porch swing and cracked window pane. Compulsion Games has crafted a world that feels damn near alive, where the tree sways feel like ghosts and the air hums with cicadas and secrets. The Southern Gothic vibe isn't just an aesthetic, it's woven into the DNA of this story. The inciting event, a hurricane that devastates Prospero, is both a natural disaster and a metaphor for the storms we carry within. Hazel's quest to save her mother becomes a journey through the wreckage of her family's history, where every relic and ruin tells a story of resilience and regret. And honestly, y'all, the monsters here aren't generic fantasy fare or the usual mythology we see in the East like in other titles and other games. They're deeply tied to the Southern folklore, and that's something we rarely see, especially I'm from Ohio, so you feel me? I'm from the US. We really don't get a lot of mythology about our stuff. It's mainly Greek mythology, Roman mythology, or something made up. So seeing something rooted in American folklore is pretty cool. But we can talk about, Two-Toe Tom. He's a vengeful spirit born from a local legend about a man-eating alligator. Or the Rougarou, which is a Cajun take on a werewolf myth, representing the beast within those who've endured trauma. Like, these creatures aren't just obstacles, they're manifestations of the community's collective pain, or that person's, that NPC's, that character's pain is becoming that monster. Now, the game doesn't shy away from the South's darker history. I'm talking about slavery, economic decay, and systematic oppression. It's like it all lingers in the background, shaping the lives of Prospero's residents. Now, it's a delicate balance, but South of Midnight handles these themes with nuance and never reduce its characters to stereotypes at all. Now, let's talk about some of its gameplay. Let's talk mechanics, because at its core, South of Midnight is a linear action-adventure game with a focus on exploration, platforming, and combat. The platforming to me is pretty solid, it's pretty gas. Think Uncharted meets Tomb Raider, but with like a southern twist. You'll scramble up crumbling levees, you'll shimmy across rusted train tracks, and you'll navigate flooded ruins. It's familiar, but satisfying, especially when the environment tells a story. Oh, it's a little thing from that. Now, the combat revolves around Hazel's intricate weaving magic system, a unique blend of martial arts and mystical manipulation. She expertly weaves and controls thread called strands, using them to bind enemies in elaborate patterns, create defensive barriers to deflect incoming attacks, and channel powerful spiritual energy into devastating finishing moves. Early encounters start off relatively straightforward, allowing players to get comfortable with the basic mechanics. But the game does introduce new enemy types and abilities at a careful pace that keeps combat fresh and engaging. By the mid-game, you'll find yourself doing complex combos while simultaneously managing foes that shoot things from above. You have heavily armored brutes that require precise timing to beat, and you got swarms of insect-like spirits called haints that test your crowd control abilities. Bro, how the fuck am I supposed to smash? I will say the game does take its time finding its combat groove, with the early hours restricted to basic 3 to 4 hit combos. And that's, that's okay. Those patterns are somewhat repetitive, especially with the early enemy encounters. However, once you progress further into the story and begin unlocking more advanced abilities in the skill tree, the combat system truly comes to its own, offering a much more nuanced and satisfying experience for most combat enjoyers. I will say that myself. Honestly, if you want more of a challenge, play it on the hardest difficulty. That will help you as well. But let's talk about some of these boss battles, because they are the centerpiece of the game's combat system. Each encounter feels like a stepping stone into the pages of a Southern legend come to life, demanding not just quick reflexes, but careful strategy and precise timing. Like, these confrontations serve as an intense test of everything you learn, while introducing unique mechanical twists that keep you on your toes. For example, when you are playing against Two-Toe Tom, he requires you to carefully observe and exploit his telegraph lunge attacks, dodging at just the right moment to create openings for counterattacks. Meanwhile, the Rougarou presents an entirely different challenge, forcing you to master the art of reading and anticipating its patterns. Each time a health bar is taken down, one of the movesets of the boss change a little, like in other titles and other gameplays. But these fights aren't just visually spectacular set pieces with some pretty good animation and effects. They genuinely tie into the game's deeper themes of confronting the past and facing your inner demons, making each victory feel both physically and emotionally satisfying. South of Midnight does reward thorough exploration with an impressive array of collectibles that deepen your understanding of Prospero's rich history. Scattered throughout the entire world, you'll discover weathered journals filled with personal accounts of supernatural encounters, photographs capturing pivotal moments in the town's past, and meaningful trinkets that tell stories of joy, loss, and everything in between. Each item you collect adds another layer to the tapestry of Prospero's complex narrative, offering intimate glimpses to the lives, beliefs, and struggles of his residents. But beyond the narrative rewards, people who actually spend time exploring, who actually spend time navigating that wonderful world, you will find valuable gameplay upgrades hidden in optional areas, from green crystals, I forgot the name of them, don't judge me, that extend Hazel's health meter, to flutes that strengthen her thread weaving abilities that you will need in combat. This thoughtful placement of both story content and practical improvements create a compelling incentive for players to venture off the beaten path and investigate every corner of the Prospero's world.
I didn't mean to upset you. I had no idea.
Ooh.
Stop! It's me! It's Hazel! You don't have to let this consume you. I can help you.
Motherfucker said it's a Pokemon.